have gone down this road, and in my view, it was needless. In my view, it's not worth it. Okay, as it were.
Like what exactly is not
when
worth
I
it?
say
That
it was
petitions
needless.
have been filed.
Yes.
The president has received petitions and has followed through with them. You think the whole entire exercise was not worth it?
Yes, you can make the argument of the law is the law. And in the same vein, the law being the law, discretion is actually supposed to be used at a point. And such discretions ought to be used in tandem with the same law. You can boldly say, I am following the law. Some make the argument of law and morality go together.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Others make the argument of law stands alone. Okay, so those who would like to say the law is the law, law stands alone, no qualms. However, when you marry the law to some bit of morality that will give the reasonable man the understanding that what you have done is what ought to have been done, clearly you will not be faulted. That is why I premise my argument by saying that we have gone down this road, which for me is needless. Because certain elements that morally would have grounded the decision that we have taken were missing. And if that was that case, why are we here today?
But nonetheless, that the law will supersede morals.
Clearly, of course, clearly I will agree. But of course, you see, it's like going with positive and negative. You need both. You can decide to go positive and achieve a result, but that result will be problematic. You can decide to go negative, achieve a result, that result will be negative. But marry the two at the point and be able to have it. That is why they say the Constitution has a letter and spirit.
Right.
When you take our Constitution, you can just read it's a law. But the spirit of it, you don't see. The spirit of it comes as a result of the moral grounding that it's supposed to have. Justice Sowa made it clear in Otto Ford v. Attorney General, clearly. Okay, a plethora of legal authorities we can cite to say that we need both the moral understanding and then of course the law, the legal understanding of whatever it is. But let me address the matter here. We have come this far. I, in particular, reading from the beginning of when the petitions were rolled out, the processes and all that, and following the argument, personally, as a student who is learning to become someone, I thought that it was needless, frankly speaking. Again, I would say that even though it appeared needless, it became a trajectory for education.
Indeed.
A novelty for us.
Indeed.
For the first time. I mean, Kwame Nkrumah tried it in 1963 or so with Justice Kosa and co. In the 60s. Okay? And afterwards, I think another incident was also tried before it came to, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono. Her case, we have also seen it. Even though it was supposed to be held in camera, but everything was almost out there for us to see.
She held press conferences on the same.
Yes, she may have held those press conferences based on what is already in the public domain. Let me also explain my side, if I am quiet. Okay.
No, she went to attend upon the invitation of the committee. We were not there, but she came to tell us what transpired there.
I am saying that prior to that, prior to even she coming out and going to court and all those things, obviously some things came into public domain. And if you are somebody who is supposed to be on the banner, and then of course matters of yours is out there and you are supposed to not to speak to it, as it were, but you have a law that tells you explain myself at the point or try this in court, you would have to test it, as it were. But you see, be that as it may, I think that the removal of the Chief Justice is a blot on our democracy. Yes, trust me, it is. Especially when after doing it, we are now contemplating of coming out with laws from Parliament that will give us a clear procedure. Can you imagine this? We are now, after doing that, going to Parliament to say, let us now have, the Constitution tweaked so that we can have procedure in clarity.
So you think it was weaponized in its current state to remove the CJ, and now it's being cured?
Can you imagine that? So that's my point. And that's what I'm saying, that it's a blot on our democracy. If, of course, at the end of the day, we come out with certain, actions or decisions, which we are supposed to be guided by Article 296, discretionary. Okay? And we did not pay heed to some of the provisions. But for the sake of political experience, we take certain decisions only to come back again and say, we think that the constitution ought to be looked at. We have to go back to our constitution and then come up with CIs that would give us procedurally how to remove a chief justice. I am one of those who make strong argument today that, look, the entire Article 146 or 146 of the Constitution must actually be amended properly to take the power of appointing the Chief Justice and removing the Chief Justice from the President of the Republic of Ghana.
And giving to
Clearly.
the General Legal Council?
Of course, there could be a procedure. And I believe in Kwesi Prempeh and his team. I believe in other legal luminaries who have actually written on this. I believe that there will be a way out. I mean, Nigeria, for instance, look at their way of appointing a Chief Justice and removing the Chief Justice. It is not like ours. I can give a plethora of examples. And I'm saying that, yes, we have run a constitution over 30 years. We haven't amended it fully or strongly. Now we have made attempt to do that. It is important when these things are rearing out or coming out, we should look at that particular provision strongly and then see how we are going to cure it going forward. But I think it has happened. It's unfortunate. It is her right to also resort to judicial review. When you take Article 40 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, it gives us the judicial review process in this country. If you think that something is done and you think it is constitutionally problematic and you are affected, you have the right to resort to the courts. But it is also the court's rights to determine whether or not your journey that you want to embark on is clouded in law or is grounded in law, as it were. She has applied, or she had sought for the judicial review. Let us see how we wouldn't take the sail of
the wind out of the sail
of the courts, and then we will find a situation to follow the process properly. In order not to sound too prejudicial, we will look at what the outcome is going to be. But personally, I am saying that we should not have gone on this road at all, because trust me, the argument is made always that if my brother Elvis is the Chief Justice, or my brother Neil Antivanderpoel is the Chief Justice.
Well, since you've mentioned him, let's say good morning to him and welcome.
The law is what he is going to tell to us, and not Kamal or Mr. B. So I will not be afraid if I know that whatever I am doing is within the law. Okay, that is why we uphold the sanctity of the judiciary.
Right.
Okay, so an arm like that, if we risk introducing politicization into it, it's dangerous for our democracy going forward. That is just the worry I have on this matter, and I pray and hope that whoever is in it will not use emotions, will rather be guided by what the law says, for us to get proper understanding of the law going forward.
Bro Alaji, thank you.